Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about something really exciting, which is the first trimester. I'm actually going to film two videos today. I'm going to film the first trimester recap and then the second trimester recap because I'm actually in my third trimester already, which is crazy. You think for your whole life that 9 months would go by so slow, but it's literally so far gone by so fast. And I can't believe that in the next video, in the third trimester recap, I'm literally gonna have my baby with me to film that one, so that's insane. So I have compiled two lists, this one for the first trimester. I included things like symptoms, tips, foods I ate and craved, food aversion, highlights of the first trimester, things I didn't expect, all that stuff. So I really tried to do a thorough job with this just because, first of all, I wanted it documented so that I can go back and even compare pregnancies and all that. But also I wanted to, if you were about to walk through the season and you clicked on this video, I wanted you to have the best tool that you could. I do have to say this is my first pregnancy, and I think my pregnancy has been easier than some people's pregnancies so far, so I'm very grateful for that. So in that, I do have to say it's not like I got all the symptoms, it's not like I have all the answers. This is just purely my experience and me speaking on all the things that I've learned, me telling you all the things that I wish someone would have told me. But without further ado, let's get into the symptoms that I had during the first trimester. Nausea is like one of the most commonly known pregnancy symptoms. And so I had missed just a few Sundays during the first trimester because I was feeling nauseous. Zach came home after one of the Sundays and said, so I think so-and-so knows, and I think so-and-so knows, and you know, you're trying to keep it a secret, but he's like, I think that they might know that you're pregnant. And I was like, why? How'd they guess? He's like, well, they asked why you weren't at church, and I told them that you weren't feeling good, and then they asked how so, and I told them that you were nauseous. And I was like, oh, Zach. Oh, sweet Zach. I mean, if you've just even watched a movie about a pregnant person, you know that that's one of the symptoms. So it's just, it was so funny and so like really endearing because this poor man can't lie, and he was feeling like he had to keep this massive secret. Like, Zach, you obviously can't tell people that I'm nauseous. That's basically like telling them that I'm pregnant. That is just one of those stories that I'll forever hold on to and just kind of chuckle at. But overall, honestly, not much helped with my nausea. There were definitely things that you could do that made it worse, but there wasn't much for me, at least, that I could do that could make it better. Some people have their methods, the pregnancy pop things, those did not work for me. Next on the list was fatigue. It just was completely like unexpected how bad the fatigue was going to be. For me, at least, I would wake up from a nap and I would still be so tired to the point where it was like my eyelids were heavy, and you're just like, oh, like you just need sleep. Like you need sleep, and then you need more sleep. So it was kind of one of those things I didn't expect, but it's so beautiful though at the same time, because you know, if you're tired, that your body is doing something so wonderful, and it truly is. During the first trimester, so many beautiful things are forming. Just try and be grateful for the fatigue because it's bringing about something beautiful in that moment. Honestly, food aversions were a really big one. I really lost my appetite for food in the first trimester. It was like my taste buds went from, you know, a palate that has been tasting things over the past 22 years to the palate of a 6-year-old child. Like nothing sounded good except for basics, and I'll get more into that later, but it literally was so crazy just all of a sudden how many things, how picky I was becoming. Moodiness was another one that I really did not expect. Extreme hunger plus shakiness was also another thing that I had experienced. This one was really weird for me. I kind of thought that there was something wrong with me for a little bit in terms of like blood sugar, because I would eat maybe a sugarier breakfast, like, you know, French toast or something, and about an hour later I would feel, oh my gosh, I would just feel so shaky. It would feel like I just desperately needed some protein right away. But I did go in for a glucose test early on in the first trimester, everything was totally fine. So I don't know what that is exactly still. I don't know what that was, but everything was fine. So I kind of stopped worrying about it. Extreme thirst and feeling dehydrated all the time. And also acne was another one as well. I really thought like, oh, I'm gonna get the pregnancy glow. And then it was like, boom, like completely the opposite from what I had thought it was gonna be like. Now on to the tips part of the video. Honestly, I have quite a few tips for the first trimester, but my biggest one for nausea would be to take your prenatal at night. I forget from who, but someone told me that when they switched taking their prenatal from the morning to the nighttime before they go to bed, that it helped their nausea, and honestly, it helped a lot. Consider a magnesium supplement is what I wrote down, because magnesium is also supposed to help with nausea and other things too. Magnesium is just really good for you. So I don't know if that was due to the magnesium supplement or taking my prenatal at night, but those are two things that I did, and my experience was better than I've heard some other women's. Staying hydrated was also one thing. I would recommend getting some either liquid IV or just like a nice water bottle or something that kind of romanticizes drinking water a little bit, because it can almost be hard when you're feeling sick to want to just down a bunch of water that tastes so plain. Really finding some other way to flavor your water, like putting lemon or lime in there, or whatever floats your boat. Putting a little bit of juice in there was something I did. Just really find ways to make your water taste better so that you can just get all the hydration that you need, because that is really, really helpful. Pack snacks. Literally pack as many snacks as you can wherever you go. And pack, for me at least, I noticed packing snacks that were full of protein. It really, really helped, like nuts and all those things. So pack snacks, because your hunger levels are probably gonna change pretty quickly, and you're probably gonna be miserable if you don't get food right then and there. So sometimes it's inconvenient, so it's nice just to have, you know, some nuts in your purse or something just to snack on to tide you over until you can get a meal in. One of my biggest tips would be just don't feel guilty about staying home. Don't feel guilty about sleep. Don't overcommit yourself. Just chill. Just in yourself, don't feel guilt about, you know, not going out and seeing your friends as much or this or that or whatever. Just rest. Just rest. Seriously, your body is doing so much work, and that's reflected by how you feel, so listen to your body. Okay, the last tip that I have is honestly consider starting your registry now. I say this because it took me some time to figure out my registry, even like up to, you know, the baby showers. I was still editing and changing things. My first draft of my registry looked really different from, you know, what it ended up being. You don't have to send it out now, but start doing your research, start putting it together, because if you start your registry now, right, it'll be ready for maybe a second trimester baby shower. And why I would recommend doing a second trimester baby shower is because you feel so much better normally in your second trimester, at least I did. And so by the time that the second trimester came around, I was pippin' and poppin', I was feeling wonderful, and I wanted to nest. And it helps to have, you know, all the stuff from your baby shower, to be able to put it away, put it in its place, set up the nursery, get everything ready. So it just, to me, it made the most sense to do it that way. And I really didn't even plan it that way, but I was so happy with the timing of how it all turned out. Foods that I craved. Like I said before, my palate literally turned into that of a 6-year-old. Mac and cheese, bagels with cream cheese, pasta salad or macaroni salad, just kind of, it just sounded really good, I don't know why. Taquitos with guacamole and sour cream. And I'm not even a Mexican food girl. And then chicken nuggets and fries, and just basically like literally simple things like that. Food aversions included grilled chicken, honestly, lots of different foods, like most vegetables and things like that. Just, I love vegetables, but they just did not sound good to me then. Coffee, which is good because you really shouldn't be drinking too much caffeine during pregnancy, and especially during the first trimester. So I think that that might have been like a bit of my body saying, you know, you really don't need this right now. I did notice that whenever I did try and drink decaf coffee, that it just felt like it was dehydrating me. So coffee really did not seem very appealing to me. So now that we've talked about all the things in the first trimester that have been less than ideal, there are just a few highlights from the first trimester, and I wish that there were more. There's definitely more from the second trimester, for sure, but some of the highlights for me from the first trimester were feeling little flutters for the first time towards the end. They were little tiny flutters, they were nothing crazy. And telling friends and family. That was just, I mean, obviously that's major, it's so much fun. People's reactions are so much fun and everyone's so excited. Those moments really made all of the ickiness of the first trimester so worth it. So really, I think that's all that I have to say on the first trimester. It's not that fun. I do have to warn you, it's not that fun. I'm sure if you're watching this video, you've probably experienced a little bit of it, or maybe you're on the verge of experiencing it. There is so much beauty in it as well. Like I said, your body is doing so much, and you couldn't get to the second trimester without the first trimester. So really just try and power through and think of this as a selfless season for your baby, and just try and push through getting as many nutrients as you can, even though the foods probably don't sound very good. And I just want to say, if you're going through it, you're doing great, and have hope. Because the second trimester is so wonderful. So you're about to enter into the blissful honeymoon stage, and so enjoy that as well. Okay, love you. Thank you guys so much for watching if you are, and have a blessed day. Bye.